the other day I was talking to a therapist, and we were coming up with this theory about the things that are happening in life, and her life, and my life, just in general. Life is hard for everybody. And she came up with this metaphor of a hamster on a wheel. And she asked me a very interesting question. She said, how do we cope with the problems in life when we're on this wheel and, we're just spinning and spinning and not going anywhere? And so I started to contemplate her theory. And I said to her, well, you're right about that. Perhaps I was on a wheel before, but I'm not on that wheel now. So I think in order to cope with the problems of life, the first step is an awakening. It's a realization that you're even on a wheel. But I feel like at this point, I wasn't on that wheel alone. We're all on that wheel. And when you have an awakening, you tend to divert from the path that everybody else is on, that they think is right, a path to an unknown destination, in order to follow something intrinsic. It's like a compass, an internal sense of direction that's going to lead you, yes, to an unknown destination, but to an expected end. Now, is it my expectation? No, it's God's expectation. And you tend to go on a path that has not been carved, that perhaps nobody has been on, because it's nobody else's path to walk. So when we're all trying to spin on the same wheel, what do? We exert ourselves, but we don't get anywhere. No matter how far you go on that wheel, you're still going to end up back in the same position. So, like I told the therapist, in my opinion, the first step in order to cope with things is to awaken, to recognize where you're at, and then it's just a matter of allocation. You have all of these things going on, all of these fires to put out, but if you don't learn how to equilibrate yourself and how to determine what is integral, what is in your control, what is not in your control, and how to position yourself in order to get to an expected end. What do I mean by that? I mean, there's so much crap that comes up and we have no control over it, but we spend so much time trying to put out these fires instead of moving to the next step. Sometimes that fire, you have to put it out. You cannot go to the next step before it. You can't run through the fire. But if you look at all of the fires that are around you, you're going to burn. So sometimes it's a matter of judging whether this is this requires your immediate response, or if this is something that can be put to the side and you can deal with the immediate fire. Because let me tell you, if you try to fix everything at the same time, you're gonna die. There's only one of you. And sometimes it's also a matter of just dropping things. If you have too many things on your plate, rather than try and please everybody and get everything done and do a crappy job, sometimes you have to say, you know what, I can't do this, but I can do that, and do that one thing well. So today I want you to have an awakening, to recognize that you are on a wheel, or maybe you're not on that wheel and you need to get off that wheel, or maybe you've just fallen back into that pattern and you can wake up again and keep going through that path. Today, go get it. Accept it with love, endure it with patience, return it with force. This is the method.